The content of this video is completely neutral and aims not to disrespect or spread illegally obtained information but to inform the people of past and present action of the community.
The year is 2004, and Rockstar is currently developing the upcoming hit, GTA San Andreas. Wow! The game has an incredible story, an incredible world, and an incredible protagonist. And so Rockstar, being the funny company they are, test on an experimental sex mode for the protagonist. Alas, they decide to scratch it and remove it from the gameplay. But they somehow decide that it is best to leave it in the code for no random reason. What could possibly go wrong? As it turns out, everything. June 9th, 2005. A new post appears in the GTA Garage website. The title of that post? Hot Coffee, which was a patch that supposedly unlocked the secret files in the game that were left there by developers to anyone who downloaded the patch. Well, they were in for a surprise. A surprise that would come in the form of a first-hand jumpscare by pixelated 3D woman bazingas. And they loved it. The post got 1 million downloads the same week it was posted. And guess who else saw that post? The mighty Dan Houser, who saw it on the GTA message boards but decided to ignore it. Big, and I do mean big mistake. So you see, up until this point, Rockstar had always had controversies with the GTA franchise. From the get-go, GTA 1 was controversial in on itself. But we know this. The franchise has always messed with that and in the past leaned onto it. But what some people don't know is the issues that Rockstar, or more specifically Take-Two, had with the SEC, who accused Take-Two of artificially boosting their accounting to improve their financial position through a method known as parking transactions. Essentially sending thousands of copies of the game to distributors, reporting them as sales, and then having those same copies be returned and be labeled as new stock, thereby inflating their sales figures and making Take-Two look prettier to investors. Anyway, the situation ended with the CEO of Take-Two, Ryan Brandt, being forced to step down from his position. Guess the investors didn't like his pristine way of handling the controversy. And funnily enough, they filed a class action lawsuit against him and Take-Two, and actually, they won! It took them some 3 years, but no matter, they got their money. By July, the media had already picked up on this.
There are some other things that you should know that should send shivers down your spine if you hear these 3 words: Grand Theft Auto. We are training our kids to be killers, and we are training our sons to treat women like whores. And here's how I got there. You should know that the Pentagon, they wouldn't pull the trigger. It started back in World War I. Even there on the front lines with people charging them, they would hire a prostitute, have sex with her, and then beat her to death with a baseball bat. The method proved so successful that the first 3 versions of the game have sold over 70 million copies. The newest version was released this week, and there were lines outside of the stores waiting to grab a copy. Today, $60 buys your kid the same thing. Whatever happened to Pong?
With Leland Yee, Speaker of the California State Senate, issuing a press release saying that the ESRB were some naughty boys for not giving San Andreas the adult treatment. Australia also felt like ganging on Rockstar, and so on July 12th, they opened their own investigation into the game at the hands of Philip Rudock, the Attorney General. Okay, the situation is getting out of hand. Wildenborg says, who by the way is the original poster of the mod, and so he goes to the forums and makes a statement in regards to the mod, essentially saying that since it was impossible to access it normally, it wouldn't count as added content to the game / Easter eggs, and thus Rockstar cannot be judged for that. Speaking of which, what was Rockstar doing during this? Panicking. Oh lord, were they panicking. So literally the next day to the answer made by the original poster, Rockstar prepares itself with a set goal: destroy any possibility left to defend their image. And so they release a statement denying any responsibility with the patch, claiming it was a complete fabrication done by a group of hackers and that it was done to undermine and destroy their image. Of course, nobody believed this, and it just aided in the destruction of the company's image. But Rockstar at this point didn't care about the public. They only cared about the ESRB. Well, about that, the ESRB said,
XD, nice try Rockstar,
and slapped San Andreas with an adult-only rating, meaning that the game was now only for adults. Upon this re-rating, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, and Circuit City retired all copies of the game from sale. Meanwhile, in Australia, Ruddock proclaimed himself victorious over the tyrannical Rockstar game, with the OFLC stripping the game from any rating and banishing it from the Australian left. Back in the States, our dearest Madame Hillary Clinton demanded the FTC to investigate Rockstar and Take-Two and proposed the Family Entertainment Protection Act, FEPA, which banned the selling of mature and adult-only rated games to minors and encouraged the FTC to check for hidden content in games. Thankfully for Rockstar and Take-Two, the bill failed. But the FTC investigation did not, however, being rallied by the House of Representatives. Take-Two Interactive and Rockstar Games are found guilty of violating the Federal Trade Commission Act of 1914. The FTC decides to leave it as a warning for both companies and not apply a fine that would amount to $11,000. But here we can play a guess game. For $1 million, which of the following options is the biggest amount that Take-Two should be worried about? Is it option A, the FTC fine, B, the SEC case, C, the investors' lawsuits, or is it option D, the entire fucking scandal?
Hi, Dad.
Hi.
I just wanted to let you know that I'm gonna win the $1 million.
This whole scandal destroyed the stock price for Take-Two, and as I mentioned before, the shareholders filed a class action lawsuit against Take-Two, alleging that the company's handling of the situation was so bad that it caused further stock price drops and direct negative consequences to their earnings. It got so bad at the time that the Forbidden Company appeared, offering candies to both companies if they sold themselves out.
There's a lot here to be excited about. I think this could be very positive for our society and economy.
Take-Two refused the offer, but EA said "nuh-uh" and attempted an aggressive takeover. But fortunately, it failed. And by this point, Rockstar had been working for 2 months straight in a patch to re-release the game without the source code and animations involved in the scandal. And so by August, now with a proper patch nicknamed called Coffee, they re-released the game, and so the ESRB gave them the sacred, the holy, mature rating. And with that, the game would be put back in all major retailers. Take the W, Rockstar. You deserve it. Alright, cut. We ended the story already. And from here we all know the rest. I just wanted to mention that perhaps some stuff in the video was exaggerated. I also wanted to mention before we end the video that if anything was wrong, be free to point it out in the comments. Anywho, thank you all for watching. If you decided to stay until the end, and if you enjoyed the video, do check the last one I made about the GTA 6 leaks, and be sure to like and subscribe. Apart from that, Merry Christmas, my fellas!